Welcome to English Podcast 2.0.
where learning English is fun, natural, and exciting.
So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's start speaking English like a pro.
Hello, and welcome another new video learning English. I'm Thomas.
And I'm Charlotte. Today we're diving into a fascinating topic, food.
Yes, let's talk about taste. We all have our personal favorites and dislikes when it comes to food. But have you ever wondered why? Is it just personal preference, or is there something more to it?
That's a great question. Many people assume taste is purely a matter of opinion, but science tells us otherwise. Our taste preferences are actually influenced by genetics and DNA.
That's right. And in this program, we'll be discussing what is taste? Why do we all experience it differently? And should we really listen to experts who tell us what we should or shouldn't eat? As always, we'll also be learning some useful vocabulary.
Fantastic. But first, Thomas, you have a question for me, right?
Yes, a good way to explore British tastes is through the country's most beloved snack crisps. So, Charlotte, what do you think is the most popular crisp flavor in the UK? Is it A, salt and vinegar? B, cheese and onion? C, prawn cocktail?
I'm going to guess cheese and onion.
Interesting choice. I'll reveal the answer later in the program. Science's understanding of taste has evolved significantly in the last 25 years, beginning with the discovery of taste receptors. These are specialized cells located in the taste buds on our tongues. But here's where it gets really interesting. Taste is unique to each person. What tastes sweet to me might taste salty or bitter to someone else, and this is largely due to genetic differences in our taste receptors.
Exactly. This means our sense of taste isn't just a random preference. It's built into our DNA. To explain this further, let's hear from Danielle Reed, a researcher at the Monell Chemical Senses Center in Thomasadelphia. She spoke to BBC World Service's The Food Chain about their research on taste perception across different populations.
Initially, we focused on studying individuals of European ancestry, which greatly limited our understanding of human taste diversity. However, as we expanded our research to include people of Asian and African ancestry, we discovered a much broader range of genetic differences that influence taste perception.
That's a fascinating comparison. Danielle also explains that criticizing someone for their taste in food is like chastising someone who is colorblind. Just as we wouldn't judge someone for not being able to see red or green, we shouldn't criticize others for their food preferences.
That's a great point. But if taste is largely genetic, where does that leave food critics and wine experts? Are their opinions any more valid than our own?
That's exactly what BBC World Service's Ruth Alexander asked Thomas Kermode, a wine judge for the International Wine and Spirits Competition. Let's hear what he had to say.
Scientists have established that taste is highly individual and largely genetic. So, does that make wine competitions pointless? Absolutely not. Of course, I would say that, wouldn't I? But in all seriousness, while personal taste is subjective, professional judges are trained to set aside their own biases and evaluate wine based on established criteria.
That phrase, but I would say that, wouldn't I, is interesting. It's a way of acknowledging that the speaker has a vested interest in their statement.
Yes, and Thomas also points out that taste is subjective, meaning it is influenced by personal feelings and beliefs rather than objective facts.
And now, it's time to reveal the answer to our crisp question. Charlotte, you guessed cheese and onion, and that is absolutely correct. It's the UK's most popular crisp flavor.
Yes, I knew it.
Before we wrap up, let's recap today's vocabulary. 1. To broaden/expand your horizons, to explore something in a new way that increases knowledge and understanding. 2. To chastise, to strongly criticize or punish someone. 3. Colorblind, a condition where someone is unable to distinguish certain colors, especially red and green. 4. Pointless, something that has no purpose or meaning and is a waste of time. 5. But I would say that, wouldn't I? A phrase used to acknowledge personal bias in a statement. 6. Subjective something influenced by personal beliefs or feelings rather than objective facts.
That was a great discussion, Thomas. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yes, we hope you found this discussion as fascinating as we did. See you next time.
Goodbye.
And don't forget subscribe to the channel and share the video.